Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. It is Thursday, April 8th, 2021, and we are checking out Sam Adams' Sips of Summer. Now this is their Summer 2021 variety pack. Before I get too far into this, got to give a shout out to Will H. and thank you for 3 different things, man. 1, for letting me know that this was already available in our local stores. 2, giving me a heads up as to the lineup of beers in here. And 3, also letting me know that you hadn't seen any reviews of these posted online yet. So if I get my cards together, and I'm kind of breaking one of my own rules. I usually don't drink on a Thursday night unless I'm not working the next day, but I am working tomorrow. You know what? These are 4 fairly light beers. Drink them now, get a good night's sleep, hydrate well. Shouldn't have any after effects in the morning. But if I get this done, edited, and ready to go, I could actually probably post this for the morning and be the first person to have a review of this pack on YouTube, including 2 new beers. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to get through all 4 of these. What we're looking at is Sam Adams Summer Ale, Porch Rocker, we've seen those before, and a new Beach Session IPA, and Lawn Chair Lager. So, a couple of things about this variety pack. 1, there's no Boston Lager in here. Now, I'm surprised by that. Boston Lager being their flagship beer, I usually expect to see it in all of their variety packs. And, you know, unlike the Sam 76 that had made its way into all of the variety packs, I welcome the Boston Lager. I love that beer, and like I said, it's their flagship. It belongs in the variety packs. Sam 76, honestly, the summer pack was the one, summer and possibly the spring, that I could have seen the Sam 76 belonging in. But I am thrilled because we've got 2 new beers here, and I love it every time there's a new variety pack from Sam Adams and we see 2 new beers instead of just 1, or what we were getting for a while there, which was none. The only time I make an exception to that is when it's all beers that I really like the winter pack with Old Fezziwig and, you know, the winter lager. Anyway, I'm not going to get too far into the weeds on that. We're here to talk about the Sips of Summer variety pack. Just kind of give you a little perspective here, you know. I'm glad to see the Sam 76 not being in here. I'm a little disappointed, honestly, to not have Boston Lager, but I'm okay with it because we've got 2 new beers, and these are all beers that seem like they belong in the summer season. So, we're going to do these in the following order. We're going to go with the Summer Ale. I believe the Porch Rocker was next, followed by Lawn Chair Lager and the Beach Session IPA. And basically, these are all light beers. I'm not too sure about the Lawn Chair Lager and the Beach Session IPA, but I lined all 4 of them up based on IBUs, which is the bitterness. There's only one IPA in there, which is going to be higher than the others. It's not listed on the box, but I'll give you the rundown as I go through the bottles. So we're going to start things off here with the Sam Adams Summer Ale, Citrus Wheat Ale. It's a 5.3% ABV beer with 8 IBUs. Now, this one, we've seen it before, and it's been around for a while. They did reformulate it, I think, a couple years back to make it a little more light and crisp, but I believe it became more hazy at that time as well. So there shouldn't be too many surprises with this one. We've seen it before, and while I'm not a huge fan of like the lighter, crisper summer beers, I don't mind them either, especially when it starts getting warm. I mean, it's been in the 60s and 70s all day today, so I'm thrilled about that. So yeah, just a nice light honey-colored, what you'd expect from a wheat beer, and it's got some decent effervescence. There's plenty of bubbles coming up from that nucleation point at the bottom there. It's a little hazy, but not too hazy, just a bit there. It's a very nice looking beer, and especially with all those bubbles coming up, I could sit there and watch it for a long time. I failed to put a really good head on that, though. But as a lighter beer, it's going to lose that head faster anyway and not really retain it. Light, A little bit of light graininess, the wheat coming through in that aroma. Definitely getting the citrus. Maybe a slight hint of bitterness to the citrus. But yeah, just a light grainy aroma with a hint of citrus to it and a little bit of bitterness. Nice light mouthfeel. Good crisp finish. It comes in nice, like a nice wheat ale. Light, wheaty, slightly grainy. And then it hits you with a nice citrusy punch. Not too overwhelming though. It's just kind of there. And then as you swallow, it just gives this nice, clean, crisp finish. There's not really anything different going on there. That's a great warm weather beer. I mean, it's basic, it's simple, it's just plain good, and it's refreshing. On a hot, sweaty day, it's probably perfect. I don't usually hit this with a high rating because again it's not. I'm talking about this. I'm hitting it with a 4 out of 5 today though. I don't know. I think I'm feeling it all of a sudden. It was like I said, it was a beautiful day today. Sun was out. Sun was shining. It's pretty great. I'm really feeling this beer today. I'm hitting it with a 4 out of 5. I don't know, maybe it's just the novelty of drinking on a Thursday too. But I'm going to finish this one up. We'll cleanse with some water like we usually do in between any beers in a variety pack review. And then we're going to move on to the Porch Rocker. All right, next up is Porch Rocker, a lemon Rattler, 4.5% ABV and 8 IBUs, so the same as the summer ale. Again, this one's not going to come as any sort of surprise. We've seen it before, and it's become a regular addition to the summer pack. Actually happens to be one of my wife's favorite beers. The Lady Plantain always has some Porch Rocker on hand, no matter what time of year it is. Although she actually prefers beer in cans versus I prefer it in bottles. So we couldn't find Porch Rocker in cans. She says, that's okay. I still have some bottles left over from last year. But again, if we find it in cans, we'll have to pick some up. I don't know. I don't care how good they did with it. And Sam Adams is better than a lot of breweries, but most of them have adopted the same can design. They were the first brewery to really put some effort into getting rid of the tinny taste, that metallic taste in their cans. And like I said, a lot of other breweries are doing a great job with it, but it's still kind of there. Give me bottles any day. So this one's actually lighter looking than the summer ale. It's much clearer, doesn't have any haze. It's a little less effervescent though. I also failed to put a good head on that one. I'm not too impressed with myself for that. But again, it's also a lighter summer beer, so it's not going to be as easy to put a head on it, but I probably could have gotten a little more aggressive with that pour. Whew, pardon. It's got a slightly more golden color to it than the summer ale too. Not that I should be comparing the two to each other, but just, it's the one we've got in front of us. It's got a somewhat neutral aroma about it. Maybe a slight bit of graininess and a tiny hint of citrus, but not nearly as strong or as powerful as the summer ale. It almost has like a slight aroma, crispness maybe, of fresh rain, like a fresh rainfall. I don't know, maybe that's just my imagination. But that's what I'm getting anyway. Another nice light mouthfeel beer. but the second it hits your mouth, you get that hint of citrusy sourness. And that's the Rattler part of it. I believe a Rattler is usually infused with lemon Rattler, but I believe it's infused with lemon lime flavors after a tough run and Porch Rocker. Okay, Brewed Golden Hells combined with this with taste. Okay, I'm just thinking that Rattlers tend to actually have lemonade added to them, but maybe that's just some of them. Makes sense to me though that it's a Hell's because there's a bit of a different sourness to it as well from the Hell's. That's basically based on the yeast, I believe. But yeah, there's a solid lemon lime sourness that hits you. There is a bit of a yeasty sourness that follows it up. Well, nice and light still. That's another good one. It's got a nice clean, crisp finish as well. Goes down easy, goes down smooth. I mean, that's another great beer for a hot summer day. It's awesome. Porch Rocker. I'd sit out on my deck, or porch, if you will, and I could polish off a 6-pack of these pretty easy on a nice hot day, just sitting around doing nothing. So, hitting this one with a 3.5 out of 5. Overall, it's a great experience beer. I'm not feeling it as strongly as I was the summer ale earlier. But again, I got nothing bad to say about it. It's a great summer beer. It's really well put together. It's smooth, easy to drink. Overall, a great experience. There's just nothing about it that's really standing out and making me go wow or impressing me enough to push it up to the 4 out of 5 or higher. And I'll try to say this only once on the video. A 3.5 is a pretty damn good rating when you consider that 2.5 is average. So, pardon. And that's out of 5 total, like I said. So, yeah, another pretty decent solid beer out of the pack. I'm going to finish it up, and we're going to check out... Yeah, the gassiness is coming right back up on me pretty quick here. And we're going to check out that brand new Lawn Chair Lager. All right, I was just watching back the first couple of videos to do a little pre-editing, and I realized I'm looking kind of scruffy today. Like I said, it's day 4 of a work week, and it's been a long week, so I haven't been doing any shaving. So I ain't looking as bad as Boosh has recently. But if you saw the... Ooh. There's a video coming later tonight. Keep an eye out for him in that. Later tonight, assuming that I get this posted first thing Saturday or Friday morning. So, yeah, I just haven't had time to shave up. But hey, fuck it. It's been a long week. I'm not going to go into the details. You're not here for my personal life. You're here for the beer, which brings us to the Lawn Chair Lager. 4.5% ABV, 14 IBUs, so we're getting a little hoppy here, just a little. So it just says refreshing and bright. Now, where this is a new beer, whoops, not 100% sure what to expect except a lager. So, and yes, I could read the label, but I'm going to try and give you my first impression of it, and then we'll see what it has to say here. Huh. It's got a slight tint of orange to it, it looks like. About as effervescent as the Porch Rocker. Again, I screwed up. I didn't get a good head on that one. Actually, maybe a little less effervescent than the Porch Rocker, although it is lighter. It's got a darker color to it. No. I don't know, maybe a slightly more bronze or copper color to it, but not by much. It's still really light. It's about as clear, maybe clearer than the Porch Rocker. That's a very clear beer. I don't know. I think it's lighter in color. This is definitely very clear. Maybe a little hazy. Maybe just a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, definitely a very light-looking beer. with, like I said, a hint of copper to it. So maybe it's even though it's lighter overall, it's got a little hint more color than the darker color than the Porch Rocker, but just not as deep a tint. Maybe that's the what I'm looking for. That's just a slightly beery aroma. Less grainy than the other two, and no hint of citrus, really. I mean, it'd be kind of a letdown if they were all citrusy beers, so. Yeah, it's a really neutral aroma. Maybe a hint of mustiness to it, but like a pleasant mustiness. I don't know, only 14 IBUs? Yeah, 14 IBUs. I wouldn't expect it to be ridiculously hoppy, but there's maybe a hint of bitterness to it. Although that could just be that mustiness coming through and masquerading as bitterness. It's got another really light mouthfeel to it. I know, I'm taking the time because I'm getting like some very subtle flavors, but not anything really crazy. There's a hint of mustiness. There's an overall just a beeriness to it. And I hate to say these words in a Sam Adams video, but it's reminiscent of like a Bud Light, a Miller Lite, or a Coors Light, although not as overwhelmingly beery. If you know, you know. And what I'm talking about is those domestic beers. They all just have a certain plain beer flavor to them that's not unpleasant, but it's just kind of there. And it's cloying in a way sometimes. But this is just like a lighter version of that. Like it's almost like a Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light type of beer, but to a lesser degree. It's just there's a vague beeriness to it. And it fades to almost like a fruit skin, like maybe a melon rind or I almost want to say like an orange or lemon rind, but it doesn't have any hint of the citrus that you would expect from that. So maybe like a fruit rind, a melon rind. Maybe just a very faint hint of something sweet. Very faint, though. Everything about this beer is understated. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing in a sunny, warm-weathered beer. But yeah, just a general beeriness to it, hint of mustiness, like a melon rind flavor, and then maybe a hint of something sweet in the finish, but just really faintly. I'm going to hit this with another 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, everything about it is understated. It's very mellow, but that's also working in its favor. Sorry, I gotta pop the elbow there. Being a light summer beer, there's nothing there to overwhelm, and it's just easy to drink. I mean, this is going to disappear fast if you get a 6-pack of it. It's going to go down like water, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing. but it's not impressing me. But the fact that I've got nothing bad to say about it means that I'm hitting it with a 3.5 out of 5 versus dropping it down to a 3 or even a 2.5, because it's above average overall for the experience, and it's the right beer for this time of year. For those lazy summer days, kicking back with a cooler of cold beers, say you drink a whole fucking cooler of them, no problem. And good friends, haha. This is definitely a beer that your friends will be able to drink, and then, yeah, that's nasty. How do you drink that craft beer shit? Because it's just everything about it's understated. So this would be an easy one to get your friends to drink. Try this crisp, refreshing lager. It is definitely crisp and refreshing, featuring Huell melon hops from Bavaria with hints of honeydew. Okay, melon rind that I was getting, and strawberry. Well, I wasn't necessarily getting strawberry, but I was getting something slightly sweet in the finish, so that tracks. Anyway. Three and a half out of 5 on that one. I'm going to finish this one up, and we're going to move on to the fourth and final Beach Session IPA. Alright, so we are up to the fourth and final beer and the second new one in this pack. This is the Beach Session IPA. It says here crisp and tropical, 4.7% ABV, so it actually happens to have a slightly higher alcohol content than the other beers in this pack, and 30 IBUs, so that's more than double what the last one had. But again, it's an IPA, so I would expect it to have some hoppiness to it. Right. I don't know why I almost expected it to have a slightly pink tinge to the color based on the label, but I don't know. I've seen a handful of slightly pink beers lately, so maybe that's just what I was thinking of. It's definitely hazy. I think it's going to be hazier than the summer. It looks thicker. It just has that hazy, cloudy, almost milky color to it. It's probably just a hazy IPA. It's slightly effervescent. There's a lot less light coming through up here, so it is the most opaque of these beers, even though I think the overall color is lighter than the last couple we've looked at, just because it's a yellower. It tends more towards the yellow than those did, more like a coppery color. Yeah, it's definitely more opaque, and that's the haziness come through, but definitely a yellow beer. And if you look down here where the glass is thinner, it's definitely a very, very light yellow beer. Got a better head on that one, although not by much, than I did on the other three, so there's that. Pardon. Citrusy mango, maybe? Mango or peach, one of those more bitter fruits. Citrusy mango or peach, maybe. Like those sweet, slightly bitter fruits. I don't know, maybe a hint of coconut in the finish. That's Though it could just be my imagination. Yeah, but that's what I'm getting. I'm getting like that slightly bitter, fruity, and maybe a hint of coconut in the finish, but yeah. Medium light mouthfeel. It's got a little more body than any of the other three. Still very smooth though. decent crisp finish. I don't know. I'm still just getting like that tropical fruit vibe from it, and I'm not getting any coconut in the flavor. So I don't know. Maybe that was just my imagination in the aroma. But yeah, just a like a tropical fruit, very subtle tropical fruit flavor, and just a nice crisp yet bitter hoppy finish to it. I mean, easy drinking. It all, and these have been in the fridge for the same amount of time, but this almost has like a cooler finish to it. Like I can feel the coolness just kind of resting down and settling right around here. I know it's fucking weird, but that's what I'm getting. I'm actually getting like this cooling sensation as I'm drinking it. I'm liking it. I'm going to hit this with a 4 out of 5 as well. And I think overall, I know I rated the summer ale the same as the 4 out of 5 and 4 out of 5 for these, but honestly, I think this Beach Session IPA is my favorite out of this pack so far. It's just that nice, light, refreshing, crisp IPA, and I'm getting hints of tropical fruit, but it's that weird cooling sensation that I'm getting from it too. That's making me really, really enjoy the whole experience. And this is probably going to be. I'm hoping that this comes separately from the variety pack, because I'm going to want more of these for the summer. Bright and lively, this beer boasts a crisp tropical aroma from mosaic hops and a clean finish. So the tropical fruit wasn't just my imagination. The coconut probably was, but who knows? I mean, yeah, this is definitely a beach beer. This is also a backyard beer in the hot sun. This is a mowing the lawn beer. Don't do it on your rider, though. That's still technically illegal, and I wouldn't want to give you bad advice, you know. Anyway, so yeah, the summer variety pack isn't always my favorite. For one, the fact that it's been including the Sam 76 over the past few years. I know. I said this is the one pack that it belongs in based on its overall flavor profile and character, but I still resented its presence nonetheless because it was just being crammed down our throats. So big thanks to Sam Adams for listening to those of us who complained about it. I know some of you folks really like the Sam 76, and I keep saying Sam 76. It's now called Wicked Easy. But anyway, big thanks to them for listening to those of us who are complaining about it and saying, take it out of the variety packs. If we want it, we'll buy it in the 6-pack, and we will, I actually still have some in my house because it's a low-calorie beer, too, and the Lady Plantain likes to keep it around. But anyway, I don't like being forced to buy it in my variety packs. But that's beside the point. I'm going to get off of that because... Anyway, but the summer pack is usually not one of my favorites because I tend more towards hoppier or darker beers. So I like the fall and winter pack. I don't mind the spring, and the summer isn't necessarily my favorite, but they're usually pretty decent beers. I think that the lack of the Sam 76 in here, plus this Beach Session IPA, the fact that I'm really feeling the summer ale today, and that I got nothing bad to say about Porch Rocker and this new lawn chair lager, just is making me really think that this is a great pack. Like I said, the summer pack is not usually my favorite, and it's still not my favorite, but it's a little closer than it was last year. So 2 4s and 2 3.5s. There's not a bad beer in the whole batch, so check it out. When you do, hit me up down below in the comments, the email link down there. Let me know what you have to say about this pack or any of the individual beers within it. I'm going to try and, get this put together and edit it up and get it posted. It's 11:20 at night, so if I get my ass in gear, I can probably get it edited and uploaded to YouTube and have it ready to go live first thing in the morning. And maybe I'll be the first one to get one of these beer packs out for once. I've only done this once before. The Not Your Father's Mountain Ale. Basically the Mountain Dew, the hard malt beverage Mountain Dew that they put out a little while ago. I actually managed to be the first person to get that on YouTube, so we'll see. Anyway, while you're down there, tell me what you thought about the variety pack, and don't forget to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I can't promise that I'll always be the first one to get these out, but I can promise to be honest 100% and tell you exactly what I think. Wrapping it up. Till next time, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.